Here we go back with another match preview for SFC Fan TV. And Sunderland do travel to Aston Villa Park for Sunday for the 2 o'clock kickoff. Villa, fantastic form last night, winning against Bologna 4-0 in the Europa League after beating them 3-1 away. So 7-1 on aggregate to make it to the semi-finals. Now, Unai Remy has won this before, I think, with Sevilla. I might be mistaken, but he's won that competition before. But Villa, form in the league is a different kettle of fish. Aston Villa, yes, formed back in 1874, 151 years young. Capacity at Villa Park is 53,000. No, it's not, bloody 43,000. Man, get your facts right. 43,000, yes. And Mr. Emery, 54 years of age, has been at the club for 187 games, 104, drawn 33, lost 50, a 55%. Strike win ratio. Europa League, like I said, they're in the semi-finals. Brilliant. Now, the league form is different. At home, they've only won 1 in the last 6. Sunderland have won 2 away in the last 6. The form table, Sunderland are in 9th place, where Villa are only in 17th. Villa have only lost 1 in the last 6 games in all competitions. Sunderland have only lost once in the last 5 games. But like I say, the form, in the table has dipped off. They're in 4th place. They're in the Champions League spot. They're still 7 points above Chelsea because the top 5 go into the Champions League. Then the 6th and 7th go into Europa and the Conference respectively. And at this moment in time, Brentford in 7th place do make it to Europe. And Sunderland are only 2 points behind Brentford in 10th place. So it's all to play for going to the last 6 games of the season. Now back in the lead for Aston Villa. They drew against Forest last weekend. They didn't score a goal, they scored an own goal. Forest scored an own goal and scored a goal, obviously, to draw 1-1. After Villa had played in the Europa League on the Thursday night. So they've only got to gain 2 days recovery, but they've got a fantastic squad with the likes of Watkins and Rodgers up front last night in a 4-4-2. Against Forest, they played the 4-2-3-1. McGinn, Tielemans, Buendia, Martinez, and of course Matty Cash, amongst other players. Now, he doesn't really rotate much. He did play Barkley against Forest on Sunday, but he wasn't playing last night. I don't know the reason why. Now, so for me, he still plays his core players. So if, I don't know about any niggles or any injuries from last night, but they've only got 2 days to recover, haven't they? And at the end of the day, like I said, they're in 4th place on 55 points. Now, before the Forest game, they did beat West Ham at 2-0. They lost to Manchester United 3-1. They lost to Chelsea at home 4-1. They drew against Leeds, so an indifferent amount of form. Head-to-heads against Aston Villa. Sunderland, we've won 55, we've lost 82, so they have the upper hand in draws 48. Now, you're only as good as your last game. Sunderland did beat Spurs 1-0 and beat Newcastle 2-1 the last 2 games to get 6 points. Fantastic win against, of course, Newcastle. We'll always talk about it because the Brobby's goal was fantastic. And Villa, we did draw with them at home 1-1 when Ronaldo got sent off that day for kicking out against one of Villa's players when Matty Cash did score. And I forget who scored Sunderland's goal. It was a header on from Xhaka, wasn't it? And it might have been, oh, I've forgotten now. Completely lost my mind. I lost my mind ages ago. I've just been watching the interview though from Regis Lebris, and that's the only thing that you can throw positives in every scenario throughout the whole of the season, whether it's from the team, from recruitment, from the head coach, from the fans, positivity from the ground, the updating of the ground. But when it comes to the interviews, it's very low, poor quality, isn't it? Let's face it. I mean, he asked him a question, which Sunderland players are fit? Is Ballard fit? Is Ngulu fit? It skipped. So you missed what he said. You don't know if Ballard's back. You don't know if Ngulu's back. Hopefully on the bench. And then he asked a few more questions and the sound went off. He didn't hear now for 5-10 minutes. Poor quality. Surely we can do better than that. Interviewing, getting interviews. Anyway, like I said, so regardless of the form at Aston Villa, they are going to be a real tough cookie to go and beat. But I think out of, the whole season they've been playing, apart from the very beginning of the season when they were hitty-missy, out of sorts when they were in the bottom 3, people were saying, oh, Villa might get relegated. you know, they've been in great form. They're for a long unbeaten run of 11 games. Gone through a bit of a dodgy patch now in the league, but they are in the semi-finals of the Europa League, and they're a fantastic squad, fantastic team, great fans, great, you know, old stadium. The stadium was built back and opened in 1897, one of the oldest stadiums in, you know, in the Premier League. And, you know, with Emery there, ex-Arsenal, PSG, Villarreal, you know, Sevilla, he's got bags of experience. He's a really good, I really rate this head coach, you know, Unai Emery, fantastic head coach. The team probably picks itself, but who's Sunderland's team going to be? Who will the team be for Sunderland? Let me know your thoughts down below of the team and the score predictions. Now I'm going to go for, yes, a 2-1, or 1-0, another 1-0. Although I do think, you know, I'd be happy with a draw. I'd take a point now. A 1-1 is a good result. And I'm thinking if we keep it close to the final third of the game and then possibly get a late winner, I'll be over the moon. But 1-1, prediction 1-1. Now, team news. I don't know if Ballard's back because it got knocked off. But this is the team that we played against Spurs. Would you make any different changes there? You got Roofs. 9 clean sheets this season, the top 6 of goalkeepers in the Premier League. Mukele, Ronaldo Mandava, O'Nien, Alderete, Xhaka, Siddiqui, Lafi, Rig, Diarra and Bobby. 4-2-3-1. I think Aston Villa will probably go 4-2-2 or 4-2-3-1. We could bring Ballard in if he's fit, or will Ballard just go straight on the bench? Will Ballard just go straight in over Luke O'Nien? He's had the second most amount of minutes in the Premier League for Sunderland this season. Hume wasn't in the starting lineup against Spurs, but came off the bench. We got Talby came off the bench. And of course, we don't know. I think Ballard might be fit, but, you know, I think Ballard's a fantastic defender. But if he could stay injury-free, he would be absolutely amazing. And that's what we need to get players in the side. We nearly got a full strength. We're heading into the last 6 games of the season with almost a full strength squad. That is fantastic. Every jigsaw piece is fitting together in the right place for the end of the season. We've got every chance, and I'm telling you now, every chance of making it to Europe with the squad, with the team. You know, brilliant at the moment. But like I said, this is one of the toughest games we've got left of the season. We've got some tough games. We've got Everton away. We've got Manchester United at home, Chelsea at home, Forest at home. Which other away games have we got again? I'm forgetting. But yeah, Villa has one more away game. Forgetting who it is. Wolves, of course. Yes, Wolves. So we've got some winnable games. It would be great to go the rest of the season unbeaten. Now, I personally will be doing a live stream on Sunday. It'll be on the Mad Mistake channel. Pop over there and yeah, for the live stream, and we'll see if we can beat Aston Villa. I've got a good feeling. Sometimes you just get. I get a good feeling. I've got a good feeling. You know, end of the day, Sam Barrett is going to be the referee for this game. I don't really know much about him, but it was great to have a referee last weekend who give us 1 or 2 things. You know, we've had some real terrible referees over the you know, the whole of the season. It was good to have a referee giving us something. Spurs, yeah, they were poor, weren't they? Let's face it, they didn't really create. You know, let's face it, what chances they did create. Robin Roofs in goal is absolutely amazing. And like I said, when you've got the likes of Ronaldo on the left, Mukele and Alderete and Roofs, you know, even Luke O'Nien has had his knockers in the past, but the games he's played against Newcastle, apart from the mistake, and the game against Spurs, he's been superb. So the defence, you know, we've got one of the best defences in the Premier League. You know, with third in the table, joint third in the table with goals conceded. I know we don't score a lot of goals, but I think we're third off bottom for goals scored. But if you keep a clean sheet, you're not going to lose a game of football. Simples. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel. We also have, you know, big thank you to the sponsor of this channel, Wolf Competitions. Pop over to Wolf Competitions. You might win loads of money. There's loads of prizes. Like the North East being won. You get £80,000. You can win a car. All sorts of small amounts. If you like a bit of it, a bit of a flutter on different sort of like the National Lottery, pop over to Wolf competitions and give that a go. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on Sunday for the live stream. Take care. God bless me. God go with you. Leave us your score predictions in your team. Would you make any changes from against Spurs or keep it the way it is? You know, don't change a winning side, as they say somewhere. Thank you. See you later, folks. And don't forget, Sunday Bunch, Sunday, 7:30, Sunday night. Join in. We'll have a big crack on with We Fully and Co. And hopefully we'll be celebrating at least a point. See you later.